what kind of a woman a man wants. As heterosexual women, we want to be in that love. We want to be in that relationship with that perfect man who is the knight of shining arm, who is our soulmate, but yet we struggle to find that man. Or if we find a man who leaves us, we feel that was there something wrong with me? Was there something I could have done to keep that man? While relationships are something by mutual consent, there are things that we can do to improve our chances of being a better lover and being, having a better man in our relationship. When I was on this search, because I have had a series of relationship failures, I was with series of men who would leave me, or I found them highly attractive, but yet they were not attracted back to me. And it was difficult for me to understand was there something wrong with me? Trust me, it was a very vulnerable, a scary moment for me to look inside, and I avoided that work for years and years until the failure of my last relationship, which forced me to look inside. Was there something wrong with me? Now hear me out. You may feel that I have nothing wrong in me. I'm perfect, I'm adequate, which we all are. We are gifted human beings. We are good enough. However, what if the things a man is looking in a woman is something that is for our own benefit? I want you to hear this closely. The aspect that a man is looking for in a woman is for her own higher benefit. And there's the first thing. The first thing you should know that men cannot do without women. Yes, it's a myth that he is having a lot of male friends, he is having such a good public life. Why would he need me? He is already having a lot. But men cannot deal without women. Men need women in their life. There is something about a woman that a man gets which he cannot get from anyone else in the world. Be it his parents, be it his siblings, be it his best friends. He needs that romantic partnership. And what is it that a man is looking for? Or what is it that a man cannot get from other than a woman? It's her liveliness. Yes, her jest, her playfulness. Women, we like to talk a lot. We like to get into those silly details, lot of details, this happened, that happened, aisa hua, vaisa hua. Men like that. Men like that aliveness, that jestiness, that sparkle. Sparkle is the right word. So a woman brings that sparkle in a man's life which he cannot get from anywhere else. Be it from himself, be it, as I said, So this is where a man needs a woman. If you see, women tend to be single for longer time. But men find it struggle. They find it a huge struggle to be single. They always look for some kind of a romantic partnership. For a woman, it is much easier because she has that aliveness, she has that sparkle, but a man by himself does not have that. He needs that from a woman. The second thing a man looks for in a woman is whether she stands in her power or not. A lot of women struggle with it. In fact, I personally struggled with it because I thought love is all about submission, love is all about giving, love is all about, being that great Mother India figure. A lot of women hide their needs. They hide their needs because they think that if I tell my needs to my man, he will feel, oh, I am so needy, or he will feel that, I am just being selfish. So we try to hide our needs. But a man wants a woman who can stand in her power, stand in her purpose. And there is a difference between a needy woman and a strong woman who has needs. So we need boundaries. We need to state our purpose. We need to state our vision clearly to the man we meet in a dating relationship. That is, we know what we want and what we don't want. I give you an example. So I was talking to someone and I'm particular about the language. I'm particular about the spelling, the grammar. I don't like to, distort the language by using HWRU. So I told him and he said, oh, you are being too inflexible. And I said, no, I'm not being inflexible. I know what I want. I want to communicate in a proper language. So I was setting my boundaries that if you want to communicate, you need to use the right language. Also, about neediness. A lot of women have that fear, even men have that fear that no, I don't want to date a needy woman. Well, the difference between neediness and having the needs or wants as a strong woman is neediness never ends. You always feel like, okay, ye chahiye, I want this, I want that. Whereas needs are something that can be fulfilled. So if I'm a strong woman with needs, it means I have needs that can be fulfilled. Versus My need is never ending, because I always want to cling to the man to get that, security, get that this. It is never ending a saga. I will always be dissatisfied, and men tend to run away from such needy women. So understand, if you have needs, it doesn't make you a needy person if your needs can be fulfilled. So you need to stand in your power. You need to be in your power and assert your need that this is what I want. I want this. I want a commitment, or I want a relationship where I'm respected. These are needs and these are not neediness. The third thing a man looks for in a woman, and this is something a lot of women struggle with, is nurturing. Yes, mothering. A lot of men, they look for that nurturing and mothering from their female partner. And a lot of women would say, oh, it makes him a man child, or it makes him a mama's boy, but it's not the case. Nurturing is something that is inherent to us because of our power to create life. Whether we are moms or we are not, we are blessed with that power, and it is that power of giving and nurturing and mothering. So it doesn't have to be in the typical way, because a lot of women struggle with that. Oh, I have to tend to his daily needs. Do I have to wake him up? Do I have to make a breakfast for him? Not necessarily. Nurturing can come in many flavors, and you have to decide what is your flavor of nurturing. Like for some women, they would like to cook for their men. Some women, they give that safe space for him to share anything, where that's my flavor of nurturing also, that giving a safe space for my man to share anything he wants and not being judged about it. And let's be fair, there are very few spaces in this world where we can be accepted as who we are without judgment, because people judge us. You will be getting judged if you have done something, or you feel like, oh, I have to hide that part even from my own parents. So for me, radical intimacy, that is the quality of holding that safe space for my man to share anything he wants without judgment. He feels that he's accepted as a whole, imperfect parts, perfect parts. That's my flavor of nurturing. So figure out what is your flavor of nurturing. What is it that you can provide to your man? And if you have that difficulty in understanding, okay, what can I provide? Because a lot of times, in this feminism, we tend to withhold that power of giving, thinking it makes us weak. No. Nurturers are strongest. So figure out your power of how you can provide, how you can nurture. And the best thing is to look at your circle of friends. In what ways you add meaning to their life. Maybe you coach them, or you can keep your home tidy. Like I'm personally, I like to keep my home tidy. I like to keep my things organized. I like to take responsibility. So figure out in what ways you can nurture the man of your life. That is something men look for in a woman. A last bit about standing in her power, standing in my power, being a powerful woman. So, one of my friends advised that when you meet a man, in the first date itself, you talk to him about, this is your goal, this is your life, that okay, I want to be in a stable relationship, I want to have kids with you, I want to get married. But that's a turn off. You don't want to go that way. You don't want to scare someone off on the first date. Your intention for the first date of meeting a man should be that whether or not I like this person or not, whether I would like to spend more time with that man or not, that should be your intention. Because if you are putting it, you are trying to make things work in a certain way, and relationships work best when they unfold naturally. So my tip to you is, go out, meet men, figure out you like spending time with them. You can share a vision that, hey, I am doing this, and and also being relaxed. Like when you are standing in your power, you lean forward and you tell them, this is who I am, this is what I want. Want as in want from life, not necessarily from you, because first date is not about talking about those expectations. The first date is about knowing the person, and trust me, it takes time to know a person. I, as a counselor, cannot know a person in just few days of meeting. So we cannot know a person in the first date itself. So take time, know that person, see if you want to spend time with that person, and at the same time just relax and receive, just like, okay, have come here to spend a good time. You can keep your sexual boundaries, where you can go for a little hugging, cuddling, maybe a peck on the cheek or a light kissing, but don't go for sex, because and I would recommend you to do this because to protect yourself, because you don't know the person for who they are, so you don't want to get sexual too early in the stage and then regret it. So spend some time, have some kind of a affectionate physical intimacy, like hugging or cuddling, kissing maybe, and then figure out the person for who they are and stand in your power. Assert your needs, because men like powerful women. Yes, they get intimidated, but you want a man who would like to see you rising and shining in your power.